Ever hear a voice so raw it stayed with you for decades? That was Dolores O'Riordan from the Cranberries. She was a quiet Irish girl with a bowl cut and combat boots. Didn't smile much, didn't need to. She walked into a band audition, sang a few lines, and the guys knew that's the sound. And at 20, she wrote Linger. Then came Zombie, Unforgettable, Really Angry. She almost quit before they ever made it big. But her voice haunted you. And this is her story. Imagine being Ireland's biggest music icon since U2 and then watching it all unravel. From church hymns to global stardom, the Cranberries story ended in tragedy. Dolores was born in 1971 in Ballybricken, a really tiny Irish village. Think cows, church bells, and nothing very fancy. She was the youngest of 7, raised Catholic, and life wasn't easy. Her dad was paralyzed in a bike accident. Her mom wanted to teach music, but Dolores had bigger dreams. She played the church organ and she sang chants, and by the age of 12, she wrote her first song, which is called Calling, about a crush on an older man. Growing up with brothers, she learned fast that boys ruled in Ireland. So she became a tomboy who outsang them all. Despite the hardship, Dolores always said her happiest place was home in Ireland, the land with horses, chickens, peacocks, and her mom in a cottage nearby. She would tell reporters, "I don't want Hollywood. I want my family." And in 1990, Dolores heard a local band with a terrible name. It was called Cranberry Saw Us. And if you said it really fast, it would come out as cranberry sauce. Now, they had lost their singer, so she showed up to the audition in a pink tracksuit, hauling her keyboard like a pro. Tiny girl, massive voice. She left with a demo and returned a week later with Linger, which was inspired by her first boyfriend, a 17-year-old soldier, writing love letters from Lebanon. The band was floored. Dolores was special. She wrote raw, emotional songs that really cut through the macho rock scene. So they started recording demos until one day a label addressed them accidentally as the Cranberries instead of Cranberries Saw Us. And boom, a new name was born. They landed a showcase gig and absolutely crushed it. And then Island Records, which was U2's label, signed them. So their first LP, Uncertain, flopped. The live shows were awkward, Dolores faced sideways, and the band, they barely moved. "We weren't great live," one of the band members admitted, but they were just warming up. So the Cranberries hit the studio for their debut album, but it nearly tanked. The original producer pushed dance beats and industrial guitar, but Dolores shut that down so fast. So they brought in Stephen Street, who had previously worked with the Smiths, and they nailed that dreamy, emotional sound. So then Dreams and Linger hit college radio and then MTV. The label, they kept it real. No merch, just music. The album blew up in the US, and then a year later, it topped the UK charts, outselling U2's debut, Boy. So in 1994, No Need to Argue dropped, and it was huge. The standout was Zombie. Dolores wrote this after the 1993 Warrington bombing, killing 2 kids.
And this song is our cry against man's inhumanity to man, man's inhumanity to child, and war, and babies dying, and Belfast, and Bosnia, and Rwanda.
On the tour bus, she'd heard the news and she poured her grief into her songwriting. Now, she believed in other dimensions, that we could still connect with those who we've lost. And that's Zombie. The label panicked. They thought it was too political, it was too dark, and they literally offered them $1 million to scrap it. Dolores, she just tore up the check. Video was shot in Belfast by Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit director, and it was haunting. MTV, they played it nonstop. Zombie hit #1 in multiple countries. No Need to Argue sold 17 million copies worldwide. But fame, it got messy. A tabloid claimed that Dolores performed without underwear, so she sued them for libel, and she won. Then she donated all of the money that she won from that lawsuit to charity. Then in 1995, at a free concert in Washington, D.C., 3,000 were expected and 10,000 showed up. There was not enough security. Kids were moshing. They played one song before the cops shut it down.
Had significantly larger crowd than that.
3 people were injured, 1 was arrested. Members of the band say somebody stole one of their guitars.
The crowd, they rioted, and someone stole her acoustic guitar mid-chaos. Their third album, To the Faithful Departed in 1996, was heavy with grief and burnout, hinting at personal struggles that Dolores would later reveal. She injured her knee, the tour was canceled, and the pressure was really starting to take its toll. By 1999, the Cranberries craved peace over fame. Bury the Hatchet was about joy, not edge, reflecting Dolores' longing for the calm. But the industry was chaos. Universal bought Polygram, Island got swallowed, and their new label didn't get forget them. In 2001, Wake Up and Smell the Coffee captured her mellow life with 2 kids, but MCA barely promoted it despite the packed stadiums. And in 2003, they walked away. In 2009, the Cranberries reunited for Roses, which came out in 2012. It reignited their sparks, but behind the scenes, Dolores was facing really deep struggles. She later revealed that she was abused as a child. When her father died in 2011, fronting her abuser at his funeral cracked her open. Depression, anorexia, alcoholism, panic attacks followed. In 2012, she attempted an overdose. "My kids kept me alive," she said. "They were my reason." She admitted that she hated singing, she hated the stage, and that she just wanted to make toast and call her friend Nora. By 2014, a plane incident ended up with her headbutting a cop and declaring, "You can't arrest me. I'm an icon." And that marked a low point. She was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and she started treatment. Then she went on to form Dark with the Smiths' Andy Rourke, and she seemed to stabilize. By 2017, she was focused, she was writing again, and excited to re-record Zombie with Bad Wolves. But sadly, on January 15, 2018, Dolores was found dead in a London hotel bathtub, accidentally drowning. She had a high blood alcohol level, but normal medication levels. She was set to record with Bad Wolves the next day. Last voicemail was joyful. She was talking about her kids, and Bad Wolves released the cover, donating $250,000 to her children. In 2019, the Cranberries released In the End, and this was built from her final demos. After that, the band was done. No replacement. Dolores was the Cranberries. She once said, "When I die, I'll leave a massive catalog of beautiful songs. I'm proud I wrote Linger. I'm proud I wrote Dreams." Her voice, raw, powerful, and it still lingers. Dolores O'Riordan didn't just sing. She left emotional imprints. Whether it was Linger, Dreams, or Zombie, you felt her emotions, and her legacy lives in every note.